Hey everyone, and welcome back. Our next guest found her love for photography after participating in a program at The Point called ICP, which stands for International Center of Photography. And then from there, she was able to help form the NYC Bridge Project, a collective geared towards the importance of teaching a younger generation on how to tell their stories through photography. And she's now an Foco Fellowship Awardee, and she's here to share some more behind her work. Please welcome Bashira Webb. Hello and congratulations, Bashira.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited about this award.
We're excited for you, and also just the history behind your development as a photographer in coming across this ICP program that The Point offered, and how you've made it your style or your preference in storytelling, right? Because I've always considered photographers to be our historians. So let's walk us through the highlight of your journey in becoming this fellowship honoree.
It's been a long time coming. I've applied several years in a row, and so it took a lot of me looking inward at my work and really trying to figure out what it is I wanted to say and really putting that down, and having the images to go with it. And it's finally come true. And like you said, I started many years ago at a free photography program, which has really informed me through this process. If that free program wasn't there, I don't know what I would be doing today. So I'm very grateful for that, and to just be able to continue this work that I'm doing.
Right, and so the program we're referencing, but we had a brief conversation about how many years ago she did that program, and we're talking all the way back to 2003 at The Point. And so she's made it her life to just execute her storytelling through this platform, right? Through the genre of photojournalism. And I was reviewing some of your work, and it's unfortunate that that we're even still having this conversation, but it's quite lovely to see what you've done with the imagery of our Black men who unfortunately have been killed at the hands of the police, right? The police officers. And but there is one, and I think Lindsay, our producer, will be sharing some of the images with regards to Trayvon Martin, who, that was a long time ago. I can't even remember how many years ago. And the fact that we're recently dealing with a new unfortunate situation where the 20-year-old Dante Wright was killed by accident. And your imagery shows them as almost like angels, and not these particular individuals that I'm referencing, but just the referencing of the flip side of the circumstances. So that's one aspect. And then there's these other images that you have of these men, these gentlemen with flowers either in their head or smelling them, which loans itself to that feminine side of humanity, right? Because we all carry them both. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about like you getting to the core of really executing your storytelling from this place of humanity.
Yeah, so a lot of the people that you'll see in my images are people that have been in my life. They're friends, lovers. And so it's really me getting to know these people, these Black men, and the human side, which is what you talk about, right? And it's really about, I can see them as what they are, which is human beings, normal people just living their lives in the world. And I don't think society at large looks at people of color as human beings. And so that's really what I'm trying to push forward. And all of our complexities, no matter what it is that we're doing in our lives, if we are a train operator or, if we are a lawyer, we are human beings, and we deserve to be respected and looked at as such. And so that's why I try to show the range right? We're never allowed to have a range of emotions, um, of being ourselves, of expressing ourselves, you know? There's always such hardness that's put on our bodies. And so it's really just about showing all of that, even the hardness, and looking at it as a beautiful thing and as just human beings, because we're all allowed to be these things, right? Only we're
Right.
not allowed. And that's
Right.
the issue.
Right, and then there's also the factor with the images that we're discussing, that these individuals allowed themselves to bear themselves, right? Because there's something about it. I like the juxtapose of like, okay, here's this hardcore dude with his hat and his tattoos and everything, and boom, he's smelling a sunflower, right? So it's like it's kind of like, you know what? We all have that side to us.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's
No
really
matter how hardcore you are, there's that other side of that really isn't really brought out, especially when you come from an urban environment.
right. And it's hard to be able to express those things, right? Because of what society in general just puts on us and what society shows us. You know, there's so much about identity now in the world and being able to see yourself reflected, right? And I don't think as Black men, Black women, people of color, that we are able to see ourselves reflected in all the ways that we can be. And so for me, it's very important to put that out there, you know, because again, in all the ways that we can be Black or Latino, you know, there are a million different ways for us to be beautiful in those ways.
I agree, and it's lovely. I love what you've done with this particular collection, and congratulations on your fellowship. And so, what are you going to do with the $1,000?
I'm gonna put it back into my photography work and really try and find more subjects to tell more stories, to tell more of our stories, you know, to really sit and listen and help people express that and express, you know, what's inside of me as well. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it back into my art. It's gonna help pay like bills and things, and I'm gonna take this award and take it back to my work, which is teaching, which is something that's really important to me, and showing our people all the things that come from just us being us, because I've never been anything but me, you know, and I'm out in the world doing it, and they can as well. So.
Brava, 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 brava. Thank you for sharing it, and thank you for being the example. And congratulations once again. You guys, that's Bashira Webb, and they can follow her, or they can follow you, I should say, on IG at KateLibby25. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to show, well, there's one person who's changing the fashion industry. You don't want to miss. Don't go anywhere.